want to share how 8 of my coworkers got fired. There were 29 of us at Catapult Learning because they told us there was no air conditioning, but it turned into a bad thing because it was unsafe and they blamed for us and they fired us over it because the kids weren't coming. They were hired to help the kids. I actually worked for them last year and I said, well, it's good, should be good. It should be fine. It'll be fine, right? It was not. It was not fine. This is a 6-week program. It's supposed to go from July 30th to August 7th. So it was supposed to end last Thursday, this Thursday, just passing actually, which is hilarious if you think about it. They fired us not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that, so 2 weeks ago? Like in a week and a half ago, whatever. And unfortunately, that school had a lot of problems. Okay. Now, during orientation, they told us that there wasn't going to be any AC, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, well, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad where you're with, people like, and you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with kids. I had 4 kids at the beginning, and I was like, okay, it should be fine. They told us we only needed 2 kids, and it'd be fine. And I'm like, okay, 2 kids, that should be okay. That should be cool. But it turned out that wasn't really the case. The school was horrible, horribly hot. It was not, it really wasn't. And I really wasn't thinking about it. I really wasn't thinking anything of it because I was like, well, you have a fan in the room, but I was on the first floor. The other people were on the second and third floor, and they were not doing good. It was not it. It really wasn't. This place was called Catapult Learning. It was not it. And how about the wrong one? Whoops. It got to a point where I had 4 kids, then it went down to 3 kids, then it went down to 2 kids. Then in the last 2 weeks, I had 1 kid, but nobody said anything to me. They were like, oh, we'll kill parents. Parents weren't answering the phone. Even kids that were going there were not answering the phone. They weren't answering email or nothing. And I said to my manager, I said, parents aren't answering the phone. What am I supposed to do? And she was just like, oh, it should be fine, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about it. Oh, we're not firing any of you. She literally said that the Thursday before she fired us. Then, ironically, the DOE came, was it week 4? Week 4. And she came that Monday, the day before they fired us. And she saw the classroom. She didn't even let her in the classroom. She took her into the hallway to talk to her. And I was like, that's kind of weird, don't you think? That's kind of freaking weird. And I didn't really think of anything of it. And I'm just like, what? We work all that day. And then the next day, they had somebody come in. Also, it was 90 freaking 5 degrees that day. And they had the kids running around and dancing. Interesting trip. Knowing that there was no AC in the building. So they took one of the fans out of my room. They were like, oh, can we use it? I said, sure. And one of my coworkers almost passed out. That's how bad it was and everything. It was horrible. And mind you, she had to work from the 3rd floor. I was lucky enough to have me on the 1st floor, so it wasn't really that bad. All I had to do was walk down the hall and into the auditorium. Not that bad. But still, I don't know why they did that. Why would you have it like that? Why? But you go through that 4-week program, no AC, nothing. I'm like, we were telling people, like, oh, the Thursday before everything popped off. No, it wasn't Thursday before. I think it was like the week. It was the week before everything popped off. A kid wasn't coming. And I thought I wasn't going to have any kids. And they were like, oh, well, we're going to have to send you home. And I'm mad at this point. And I'm like, send me home? What are you talking about sending me home? And I said, well, I'm going to call the parents. Turns out one of the kids was stuck in traffic with their parents. And they got to like 8:30. The program was supposed to end when we started 7:45. I just think she just didn't want me there because that was crazy. Like, I was just like, I thought we could be substitute teachers. Because she was saying if you didn't have any kids, you could be substitute teachers. Then she just changed her mind. That was weird. You couldn't have given me a couple of kids. There were people that didn't even come in certain days. Why did I just coach? Oh, it's right here. Anyway, that was weird to me anyway. I was like, that's weird. That's suspicious. But, I don't know. Then Tuesday rolled around, and we worked the whole day. They have the trip, or the trip where the place came there. It was like a show and tell kind of thing where they were doing like a play in front of us based on filter stories, which I thought was really cute. Actually, that was really cute. I enjoyed that. I really did. It was really cute, and the kids loved it. And I'm just saying, well, this was a fun day, right? And we really didn't have to teach that much. Then I didn't see the message, so I'm not really thinking of it. And she goes, my manager walked by and she's like, "Go check your phone," because I wasn't checking the phone. I was focusing on the thing. Because that was another thing. They were like, "Oh, you guys are on your phone too much." We literally have a group chat, but we have a group chat that we have to look at. I wasn't on my phone because she kept on saying, "Oh, you guys are on your phone too much." Blah 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 blah. We literally in a group chat, but then she was like, "Oh, we're now in a meeting." I'm like, "Oh God, here it comes," and they fired us, right? So 8 of us out of like 29 of us got fired, right? And it was real bad because there was a couple of people that had 3 kids. I had the one kid. I hadn't actually understood why they fired me. I was like, well, that makes sense. It's fine. Even though it's stupid, it's fine. There were a lot of people that had 3 kids. So we were so confused because they said to us that all we need is 2 kids. So we're like saying to her, wait a minute, but I have 3 kids. Well, I have 2 kids. Wait, why are you firing us? Like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, well, it's not coming from me. It's coming from management, blah, 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 or corporate or whatever. I think it's because the DOE came or whatever. That's my prerogative to say that. But it's kind of funny. I don't know. So then I get a bunch of phone calls from my coworkers that still work there. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. It's fine. And then one of my coworkers called me about last week, they wanted to do progress reports. Now, mind you, all the kids that were moved out of my class and people's classes that got fired, literally they wanted them to do progress reports on kids that they didn't interact with for the 6-week program. They only interacted with them for like, what, a couple of days? And they were like, how are we going to do progress reports on kids like that? I think she just didn't know that she was doing my manager. And one of my coworkers like told her off, and I was laughing. I was like, good. I thought that was funny, and that she was hiding with her. I don't know, just found it funny to me. Because like my manager was doing the most. I don't know what that was about. Like we would ask her questions, and she would say, I already said that. You didn't, but okay, you didn't. But I'm glad I'm not working that job anymore, because that was interesting. It really was. That was an interesting job. I enjoyed helping the kids, but my God. And then some of the kids were a little weird. I was just like, you. I'm like, we gotta get through this thing so we can have some fun later on. And then like, I don't want to do that. I'm just like, what do you want to do? Mind you, it was so hot that the kids couldn't go outside. Couldn't run around. They wanted to run around the classroom. I was like, no way. No way I will run around in this classroom. I'm so sorry about it, but you're not. I like the highlights I just blended. But, I don't know. We got paid. I don't really care. And then had the audacity to send us a freaking email talking about, do you want to work here for this during the year? That's funny. I can't ever open this. But maybe it's a good thing. Mom said I'm gonna have to deal with this because I'm gonna be dealing with schools and stuff. And I said, if people treat me like this, I'm not dealing with this. One reason why I kept going back to school is because I need the money. One. And two, I actually liked that job. It's just the manager was a bitch for no reason. I don't understand why she was doing all that. Didn't make any sense to me. She would complain all the time. I'm doing a job for 2 people. I'm doing a job for 2 people. Listen, you decided to do this job. Anything, quit. I remember her boss that came one day and she said, oh, she was supposed to do this. She was supposed to do that. I don't want her to say so, but did you tell her she was supposed to do that? Because she didn't do nothing. She just sat in this room just like you did. That was another thing about her. She would just sit in the faculty room and just, I didn't know what she was doing. We were doing our work in the classroom, so I really wasn't watching her. But there were times where I was just like, what is she doing? What is she doing? I'm so confused. Is she doing everything? Or is she just sitting there all day? Probably sitting there all day. There's like the third boss I've had manager I've had that just sits around, doesn't do anything. It's interesting actually. It's like, so you're hired to do a job, but you're just gonna sit around all day. Cool. beans. Why is it not closing? Did I break it? Don't close. Hello? Oh, it was the wrong way. Anyway, I'm not best. I'm just next time when I do have a job, I'm not letting people all over me. I really am not. I let a lot of things go with that school, with that program anyway. To disrespect, actually. I told them that I walked with a walker and they put me in a school with stairs in front of it. But I was like, you know what? It should be fine. They tried to put me on the second floor and I actually had to beg them not to put me on the second floor because why would you put me on the second floor knowing I have a walker? No elevator either. I'm like, yeah, okay. But they put me on the first floor, so I was thankful for that. One of my friends literally said, can I be put on the first floor? And they told her no. She would have to be on the second floor. That was strike two of me. But nothing I could really do for her. I could have said, you know what, I'm not going back to this job. It'll be fine. But no, I wanted to save the money. So I would have money because my other job doesn't start until the end of September. You know what? It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. You know what? I think they secretly gave us that bonus they were talking about at the end of the year. Really. Because my coworker that got fired was telling me, oh, we got more than I thought we were going to get. And I said, I know. I think they gave us hush money. But you can't hush me up. You can't. It's just funny, actually. What eyeshadow look are we going to do today? I don't know. I really just do is let me spell it. I'm just happy to be out of there. That was such a horrible job. Actually, my first job ever was a horrible job. I should make a video about that too. Oh my god, that job was horrible. That'll take me longer than the time I have. Oh, this palette's pretty. It's just color. But other than that, it's gonna be fine. Not a full-time job. That was my mistake. I should have found something that's year-round. I applied to this daycare. I don't know if they're gonna get back to me. I don't know. It's way less than I was getting at this job. But oh well. That's what you have to do with which color. Why would this gold glitter? I'm not even knowing. I'm scared of it. It's darker than from my lips. Ooh, I like that. Bronzer. I go, oh, somebody said to take powder and the second. So I'm gonna do that. Turn out. But that's good. Okay. Why does that look better? What the hell? Rude. They were right. That does look better. Interesting. I love this lip gloss so much. It's my favorite. It's so backwards. Oh yeah, put in some texture. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. I don't think it's working. How did I do that? How am I stupid? Oh, here's my eyeliner.